She didn't fall for the price tag, the perfectly timed dinner, or the carefully chosen words. And what's even more maddening is, she may not even know why she suddenly felt that pull. Because despite what most advice tells you, women don't respond to logic. They respond to something far more elusive, something that reaches them before they even know it. Most men think love is earned through kindness and effort. But the truth is harsher, she bonds with what stirs her emotions, not what tries to persuade her mind. And often, the harder you try, the less she feels. That's the paradox. That's the trap that we're trained to believe, that effort guarantees results, that if you try hard enough, you'll get what you want. But this belief collapses when it collides with female emotion. As Ortega y Gasset said, love is born not from desire, but from surrender to fascination. And fascination cannot be reasoned. It must be felt. A woman doesn't fall in love with arguments, she melts into atmospheres. It's not the perfect line, it's the calm presence behind it. Not the plan, but the way you make her feel safe, without saying a word. You won't find gimmicks here, just psychological truths. If you're ready to abandon the myth that effort alone wins hearts, then by the end of this, you'll understand why some men never leave a woman's mind, even when she tries to forget them. Take a breath. Because everything you thought you knew is about to break. Why is it that the men who try the hardest, the daily texts, the flowers, the thoughtful gestures, are the ones most easily ignored, ghosted, replaced? Meanwhile, the guy who's calm, barely available, seemingly uninterested, he's the one she obsesses over. That's not unfair. That's the emotional algorithm at play. The problem lies in thinking women fall for perfection. They don't. They fall for what moves them. And emotion, real emotion, only arises in the presence of tension. Predictability kills attraction. As Nietzsche said, what is done for love is always beyond good and evil. And that's why being the nice guy, the agreeable one, the always available man, is emotional suicide. She needs to feel. She needs to sway, to rise and fall, to taste the unknown. And if all you offer is peace, you become invisible. Like a movie without conflict, you lose interest halfway. Because the human mind craves contrast. Tension. Resolution. The heart operates on the same rhythm. Love is not linear. It loops, it climbs, it falls. It feeds on the mystery, the things unsaid, the parts of you she can't predict. When you try too hard to prove your worth, what you actually reveal is doubt. And doubt, my friend, is contagious. She will feel it. And when she does, she will distance herself, not because you did anything wrong, but because her biology doesn't respond to desperation. That's why you often hear, "You're a great guy, but..." That "but" holds the weight of everything she couldn't feel, not because you lacked value, but because you failed to create charge. Robert Greene put it well, seduction isn't about being good or attractive. It's about creating fascination. And fascination is built through unpredictability, through emotional pacing, not performance. She doesn't fall for what's obvious. She falls for what she has to figure out. What pulls her in, even when she resists. What excites her curiosity, not just flatters her ego. And here's the painful irony, the more you try to prove you deserve love, the further you push it away. Because too much effort signals lack. And lack turns off instinct. The real game begins when you let go of trying to convince her, and instead, create an experience where she convinces herself. The man who seduces effortlessly doesn't chase attention. He embodies presence. He doesn't crave validation. He radiates certainty. And here's the principle you must engrave in your mind: when a man no longer needs a woman to feel like a man, she begins to feel like a woman in his presence. That's where desire is born, not from need, but from the space between freedom and gravity. Because nobody longs for what they feel forced to accept. And the man who tries too hard, he forces the connection. He rushes the rhythm. He gives before she's ready to receive. In doing so, he destroys the mystery that could have saved him. Real love lives in uncertainty. In the in-between. In the intensity that comes from not knowing, but feeling. And once you grasp this, you'll understand that the winners in this game aren't the loudest. They're the ones who radiate quiet magnetism. The ones who can simply be there, without needing to be wanted. Because it's exactly when you stop chasing her, that she begins to ask why she can't stop thinking about you. There's a force you can't see, but it pulls everything toward it. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't announce itself. It just is. That force is called emotional gravity. And the man who possesses it doesn't seduce with words, he seduces with energy. Most men were taught to act, do more, say more, prove more. But the man who stands out isn't performing. He's rooted. He's present. He has mastered what kings, generals, and sages always knew: the strongest power is silent. It doesn't beg. It doesn't explain. It simply holds. When a woman encounters this energy, something inside her settles. He doesn't try to fix her. He doesn't try to change her. He just holds the space. And in that, she finds something no one else gives her: permission to let go. To unravel. Because he won't. And that's where the alchemy begins. The ordinary man reacts. The magnetic man contains. One tries to win her over with explanations. The other listens with his stillness. One seeks approval. The other commands respect. This is not emotional absence, it's mature presence. And it changes everything. Because while the world expects women to constantly regulate themselves, the man with emotional gravity allows her to finally rest. She doesn't fall because you respond fast. She falls because your energy responds to something she doesn't even know how to express. And here's the cold truth: the moment you lose your frame in response to her moods, her silence, or her distance, you reveal that your center lies in her. And when she senses that, the attraction dies. Because she cannot trust someone who depends on her instability to feel stable. A truly magnetic man guards his energy like a sovereign. Calm, selective, and grounded. That's what makes him valuable. She may not be able to explain it. But she'll feel it. And she'll crave it. When you don't flinch, when you don't overreact, when you hold your composure in the chaos, you radiate something rare: inner control. And that control is wildly seductive. Think of James Bond. Not because of the danger, but because of the stillness within the storm. His emotional detachment amplifies the warmth of his presence. He doesn't chase. He doesn't boast. He just is. And in today's world, that presence is rare. That's not coldness. That's emotional leadership. A woman feels safe when she's not expected to hold everything together. When she can fall apart, and you still remain. That's the addiction she never knew she wanted. As Robert Greene said, true seduction is offering pleasure where others place demands. You don't force her to change. You simply create a space where she wants to reveal her deepest self, freely, and when she does that, she surrenders, not by decision, but by instinct. That's the invisible pull. You don't grab her, yet she stays. You don't push, yet she moves closer. You're not emotionally needy, but you're emotionally available, and that balance is unforgettable. She won't forget you because you did something dramatic. She'll forget you when you need her to remember you. Because real forgetfulness is born from too much access, too much effort, too much presence. But the man she can't erase is the one who never asked to be remembered. He simply lived in a way she could never ignore. Picture a train moving silently. No horn, no announcements. Just speed, strength, and direction. You can't help but watch. That's the kind of man she wants to follow. Not because he invites her, but because his journey awakens her desire to be part of it. That he doesn't talk about his growth, he shows it. And that consistency leaves an emotional fingerprint long after he's gone. Because women don't crave completion. They crave expansion. She wants to feel that by being with you, her world gets bigger, not smaller. She doesn't want to be the center of your life. She wants to orbit around a life that already has a center. That's how true attachment is born. Not from pursuit, but from gravity. Not from demand, but from distance well measured. And that brings us to one of the deepest truths of modern seduction: strategic absence. It's not coldness. It's appreciation. It's knowing that desire dies without space to breathe. Like the best scents, they linger after you've gone. That's how your presence must work. Scarcity isn't manipulation, it's a signal. It filters out the noise. It raises your value. Because when access is earned, it's treasured. She stops asking if she likes you, and starts wondering how to deserve a place beside you. That's not arrogance. That's masculine maturity. And in today's world, that's rare. So remember, it's not what you do for her that binds her. It's how she feels around you, when you're not even trying. Because when you carry yourself with emotional leadership, the freedom she feels becomes the only kind of captivity she welcomes. She doesn't want to be the reason for your transformation. She wants to join something already in motion. She wants to feel that by connecting with you, she's stepping into a larger world. And no woman walks away from a world that makes her grow. She may leave, but forget. That's something else entirely. So stop asking how to make her fall in love. Start living like the man she'll never forget. Because once your life becomes full enough that she wants in, you no longer need to convince. She'll offer herself, willingly. And that, my friend, is effortless seduction. The man she finds, when she stops looking for anyone else.